When thinking about the racial and income inequities that exist, I think, like with most things in this country, it's often, well, that's good enough for them. And it's time for folks to demonstrate that they value early childhood education.
The early care and education workforce is undervalued because of a history of discrimination. The early care and education workforce is overwhelmingly women, and here in New York City especially, it is overwhelmingly women of color. And because of the discrimination, we have a workforce that is underpaid.
The labor force needs childcare. Parents cannot take their children with them to work, but parents also cannot afford $2,000, $3,000 a month. If the parents are not able to find someone to care for their children, they are out of the workforce. They are not contributing to the tax base, and it becomes a cascading effect. Because you can't care for children if those that are caring for them can't support themselves.
The Daycare Council is very unique in that we provide on-the-ground support for people doing the work day in and day out with children and families. And we also do a lot of advocacy on the policy level that will actually make effective change.
We are a membership organization that's working with childcare providers and center-based programs and in home-based programs across the city. And then we connect New York City families to programs and help them access those services.
We have fought to increase wages for the early childhood workforce. We've gotten the largest New York State investment in early childhood education in the state's history, and we've made it easier for families to find the child care providers that meet their needs.
They'll put your child in a place where you'll be comfortable and you'll know that the child is in good hands.
When I started, the main issue was the need for childcare, more childcare programs. We were very fortunate to have individuals who cared about childcare and wanted to keep it going.
I've been in childcare for 40 years. The Daycare Council has supported me for that long. They provided resources for the community, the school. They have professional development for our teachers, medication training, child abuse, education courses.
If you walk through our office, you might see a training going on. You will hear our child care specialists and counselors on the phone with families.
The support that I give to the providers, the trainings that I do in terms of health and safety, I'm grateful that I have the opportunity of being certified through the Daycare Council in order to give the providers the help and the support that they need.
Most organizations don't do the range of what we do, and so we're finding that we're being very successful in both areas.
Our path to pay parity and negotiating the first collective bargaining agreement was the pinnacle of our successes.
In one famous study, we found returns of investment of 7 to 15 on every dollar invested in childcare. We need to continue to make these investments to ensure that parents can fully participate in the economy.
They should support the Daycare Council because we always should think about nonprofits in this city who really give of themselves, really keep the legacy going, are serious about the programs that are offered. And the Daycare Council has proven itself all these years.
We want to ensure that regardless of your zip code, regardless of the family that you're born into, regardless of your family's income, that children have access to high quality care.
New York City should be proud of the fact that when it comes to childcare, it is an important service for families.
I don't think there's any other place in the country where families can send their children to a high-quality child care program for free.
They made that decision back in 1949, and they've held it since then.
The legacy of the Daycare Council is that we continue to support child care providers, early childhood education professionals, and businesses, regardless of the setting. The legacy ties back to my grandma, Valdina Hilton, who was the first child care provider who I knew, who took care of me and all of my friends, that this profession persists, that it exists. that families know that their children from 0 to 5 years old are in safe, high-quality settings with trained professionals who are educating them, not just babysitting them. We are stepping boldly into the next iteration of the Daycare Council, and we want to be here to help families and providers access and provide the services.